By now, most of you have heard that your polymer-tipped bullets are obsolete. They're being swatted out of the air like Palestinian rockets over the Iron Dome. Alright, maybe it's not that dramatic, but Hornady, using radar, did find that the tips on these polymer-tipped bullets were melting in flight, just from the friction with the air. And it isn't just the Hornady AMAXs and VMAXs or SSTs, it's everybody's polymer-tipped bullets. So what you thought was the perfect meplat from your tipped bullet is kind of a blobby mess by the time it arrives at the target, especially as target distances increase and muzzle velocities increase. Now thankfully there is a fix for that at this point, and that is the ELD bullets from Hornady. You have the ELD match, which is designed for punching paper, and then you have the eld-x, which is designed for punching animals. And the ELD match, the differences between the two, you're going to have a thin jacket on the ELD match, and you're going to have an interlock ring and a thicker jacket down at the base on the eld-x. So it's meant to hold together at the base if you are intending to hunt, whereas this one, there's no guarantee that this is going to hold together. Now, a lot of people have had good luck hunting with the old AMAX bullets, and that's because there's just so much sectional density in those. So a lot of deer have been taken with AMAXs, but just to be sure, if you're going to shoot animals, you should probably do the eld-x. These are a little bit more expensive than the outgoing AMAXs or anything like that, any of the BTHPs, and they're new, so they're going to cost about 10 cents more, but part of it is going to come down to this tip right here. This has a heat-resistant tip, so this should not melt in flight, and it's actually a thing of beauty, that tip. It's transparent, and it kind of looks like Lexan to me. It reminds me of the kind of material that Nalgene bottles are made out of. It's very pretty. The bullet construction itself appears to just be an AMAX. It's going to be heavy for caliber in whatever they make. Right now, they only make this list of bullets in both the ELD and the ELD match. And one thing you want to take a look at is the listed ballistic coefficient. Look how high those are. I've listed the G1 and the G7. And if you're familiar with either, you're going to see that these are very high ballistic coefficients. Now that you've seen the ballistic coefficients, let's take a look at the precision of these bullets. To estimate how consistent the masses of these bullets are, I'm going to weigh 5 of them in this beam scale, and then we will do a standard deviation based on the mean weight of these, and we'll see how much they stray. And this beam scale only goes to 100 grains, so what I had to do is fudge things a little bit. I had to tape a 115 grain bullet down here at the end of the arm, and so we're not going to be getting the exact actual weight of this bullet. We're just going to see what the relative weights are. Remember that these measurements don't mean anything. We're just looking at relative differences here. And what we're ending up with is a standard deviation of 0.088 grains across this 5-bullet spread. So that's pretty tight. Now for lengths. Just from the hand loading that I've been doing, I knew that these things were really consistent, but I wasn't really expecting this. Look at this. 4 of these all came out the exact same length, and the 5th one was 0.003 shorter, for a total standard deviation of 0.0006 inches. I've never seen anything like that. All these numbers are great, but do they justify the extra 10 cents per shot? So far in my testing, the answer is yes. This is a Savage 12FV, and it's temporarily wearing the sporter weight barrel that I'll be taking to competitions later this year. I'm trying to see if for less than $500 you can use off-the-rack new equipment and build a rifle that you can compete with at 1,000-yard and 600-yard matches. And I actually will be testing this, so if you aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. In this initial load workup, I'm using the optimal charge weight method instead of ladder loads. As I expected from this cheap barrel, the non-optimal loads are pretty big. But then we have this one right here. This measures just a little bit under half an MOA if we throw out this one flyer that happened during a gust. The muzzle velocities are also considerably higher than I expected. Hodgdon estimated that a 41 grain charge of Varget pushing a 162 grain AMAX would leave the barrel a little faster than 2,600 feet per second, and that's out of a 24-inch barrel. But possibly because of my seating depth, I'm seeing 2,700 feet per second out of a barrel that's 2 inches shorter than that, and I'm not even seeing any high pressure signs. On this trip, I actually brought my reloading press to the range so that I could whip up a few extra rounds. And what I did is I took this out to the 650-yard range, and I started shooting the 6-inch by 12-inch plate out there. And my zeroing wasn't perfect, but I had a little help from a spotter, and I was able to start nailing that plate. My $500 competition rifle concept might have seemed ridiculous at first, but ammunition like this is giving it a bit of a serious note. I think this is going to perform very well. Be sure to subscribe to the Social Regressive so you see new videos when they come out. If you like us on Facebook, you can see some behind-the-scenes stuff. And then if you click on the playlist, you can see everything in the series.